Hey fellow YouTubers, JJ the Trucker coming to you from Springfield, Missouri. And as you can see, I am all moved out of the Freightliner. That is it. Completely moved out. So I've been getting a lot of people asking me, why did you go from Freightliner to Peterbilt? Well, there are a few reasons, but you know, one thing I've definitely noticed is there are quite a few pet peeves that I've got with this Freightliner that I just didn't really like. Lots of little things. Nothing seriously so major that I'll swear off Freightliner forever or anything like that. But just a lot of little pet peeves, enough to where I figured, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and give Peterbilt a try. See how I like that. See if, you know, if it's any better or if the pet peeves are about the same. So let me go ahead and run down the list of pet peeves that I've got with this 2020 Freightliner Cascadia. Alright, let's start right now with the mattress thickness. Now this does nicely come with a good standard size twin XL mattress, which is 37 by 80. That's nice because you can find mattresses anywhere. You can find sheets, even at Walmart. That part is really nice. However, the mattress thickness is an issue. See these hinges right here? If your mattress is thicker than that hinge, forget about it. It's not a good thing. Now the Peterbilt, the hinges come up much, much higher. Why is that important? Well, let's say your mattress is sitting up above that hinge. You go to lift the bunk. Right now, the corner of the edge of your mattress right there is squished down between the base of the bunk bed and the back wall there. Now, if you've got an 8-inch mattress, I'm saying 6-inch. Let me back that up. It comes with a 4-inch mattress, not 6. Okay, so if you get a 6-inch mattress, it's not too bad. If you get an 8-inch mattress, or like I had, a 10-inch mattress, forget it. It is ridiculous. So as you see, the bunk itself is, you know, it stays up by itself. It's got the little pneumatic shocks right there. Really, really nice. But if you've got the larger mattress, it will go up to about right there. Okay, and that is it. If you want to get it higher, you have to push it and lift it higher, and it's not easy to do. And then it wants to keep closing on you. These shocks are not strong enough to hold it up when you've got such a thick mattress. So that's a major disaster right there, because now you got to find something to prop it up with. You definitely don't want to go crawling under there to get something in the back, because this whole thing's just going to slam shut on you, and that's just not what you want. All right, so pet peeve number 1 right there, the mattress thickness. All right, let's talk about pet peeve number 2. This ladder right here, not too bad. It's pretty nice. It's convenient. Let me go ahead and take this bunk down here so you can see. Okay, so the ladder, okay, it sits right there. Grab it, pull it down, and you've got a nice convenient ladder. It is kind of in the way, but that's not really my pet peeve with the ladder. My pet peeve, as I go ahead and close this thing back up. Oops, I didn't lock down the bunk. Alright, so the pet peeve that I've got with the ladder, you see where the bunk height is? Well, this thing comes down right here, and this thing is a head magnet. What I mean by that is I was constantly bumping my head up against that all the time. It's right here in the center of the walkway. Okay, it's right there where anytime you're doing anything, you're standing right here, and man, my head was constantly banging up against that. And that is not soft. That's not plastic. That is metal. That is not good. That is not what you want to be banging your head up against. Bad, bad, bad situation. All right, number 3. Let's talk about the closet space. It's got a decent amount of closet space in here. Okay, but as you look at what you could have here, there's a lot of wasted closet space. I mean, look at all this duct work. that's back here. Look at this thing right here. All the electronics for that are all back in here, and that's taking up a lot of your closet space right there. Plus you've got the bar with this thing in the middle, so really you've got a few hangers here, a few hangers here. You can't even get all the hangers on that side because that's in the way. It's not a very good design. And then come down to this cabinet down here. Look at this. How bad is this? Right there in the middle of your cabinet is a hose. Now you can see where the hole is, where the hose used to be. That's where the hose is normally. They just put it right smack dab in the middle. It's like no care whatsoever for what the driver needs to store. They could have put it much further back there, put it way off to the side. They could have done a lot more. They could have just done more of this plastic ductwork back here instead of the hose, and just done that down below into the AC system, which is down there. That's just, man, forget trying to store anything of size in there. It's just not going to happen. So wasted closet space, man, that is such a pain in the butt. All right, let's talk about the next one, number 4. Nothing sticks to this interior. You see this pattern here, from here to this pattern right here. This is all, look at that, even on the dash. Nothing sticks to it. No suction cups, no Velcro adhesives, nothing at all. Duct tape will stick to it for a while, and then when it comes off, it leaves that right there. Look at this. This is where I had my mirror, and the only way I could get it to stick was, it wouldn't stick with just regular Velcro. I had to duct tape all the way around, like duct tape a frame on there, and then stick the Velcro to the frame I had to use. Way too much for a very lightweight plastic mirror. It was ridiculous, and now I can't get the residue off. Man, just a poor choice of surfaces. Something where, some Velcro or these command strips would stick would be nice. These command strips are awesome. They do stick to the bunk, okay, this type of a surface right here. So I was able to use it there. And they do stick to this surface right here. Kind of. Even this surface right here, stuff still comes off, but it would stick a little bit better than the rest of the surfaces. But that is it. So as far as what you can do, the only other thing you can do, drill holes. That's all you can do. Drill holes, and I had to drill a few holes for the stuff that I was doing, and I'm going to get charged for that. Not that they charge a lot here at Prime to fill those holes and repair it, but still, if that's your only option, that is not that great. All right, next one, the fan speed. So here on the fan, 10 different options. Okay, not just the low, medium, and high. 10 different settings. You would think, wow, that is great for some varying fan speed. Right now it's blasting. It is, you can't see it right now, but it is just blasting right now. You would think that on the lowest setting, the air would just barely be coming out of there. And as you're sitting, it kind of is. It kind of is just barely coming out of there. But once you start hitting the road, all that air gets pushed through, and now you've got a high amount of wind coming through once again, which is a real bummer. That's not what you really want when you have 10 different settings. You don't want air to be blasting out on the very low setting. If I want air blasting out, I'll set it up to 5, 7, 8, 10. But yeah, I would say comparable to a regular car with just the 3 fan speeds. The lowest speed right there is comparable to the high speed. Seriously, when you're going down the road, the highest speed, the 10 here, is just, it's ludicrous speed. We're going plaid. If you get that reference, make sure you put it in the comments. Next one, this stereo. This stereo is something straight out of the 1990s. Man, this thing is just, it's old. It has been updated for Sirius XM, but kind of as an afterthought. And Bluetooth, sure, it has Bluetooth, but as a real afterthought. It's terrible. To get anything on Sirius XM, it works fine on Sirius XM, but to get to the channels, you have to push the buttons up, down to get to your channels. So if you've got something you want to listen to on channel 301, such as Road Trip Radio, you have to push that button up 301 times to get to that station. That's just absolutely ridiculous. You can't use the knob to switch stations. You can't use the buttons to go to it. These are just presets. Now, once you get to 301, you can preset it. But man, forget even just trying to get to 301. I'm not pressing that thing 300 times. Forget it. Oh, man. Let's see. The volume control is terrible. To get to the volume, you know, it's supposed to be able to, you know, just twist it 1, 2, 3, 4, etc. But if you go any faster, it doesn't register fast enough. So to turn it all the way up, it's not just twisting the knob once. You got to twist that thing up 3 or 4 times to get it to turn all the way up, and it's really not even that loud. To switch to the sources, which you have to do because it doesn't remember the source that you were in, especially if you're using Bluetooth. Oh, forget it. If you're streaming from your phone, this is the worst radio to have ever. Because as soon as you turn that truck off, even if it's for a split second, it disconnects the Bluetooth, and when you start the truck back up, it goes to this weather station sometimes. Sometimes it goes to the FM1 station, which, you know, traveling across the country, you're never in a real FM area, you know, or the same station you were at last time, so forget using that. But it always switches back to that, and you've got to push like 5 buttons to get it back to the Bluetooth. That's inconvenient. It's terrible design. It's horrible. All right, while we're up here, let's talk about this fuel tank gauge. Oh, low battery. That's awesome. This fuel tank gauge is wildly inaccurate. I'm not sure if it's just this truck or if it is all the Freightliners, but I have tested this out. I have gone all the way down to that white E line, where I should be running on fumes. Now, this truck holds 200 gallons. All right, I'll go to the fuel stop, fill it up, like top it off, and the most I've ever been able to put in there is 140 gallons, which means there is 60 gallons still left in there. That's ridiculous. That's more than a quarter of a tank, and it's sitting there saying that it is empty. Something is not right. Now, granted, probably not a full 60 gallons left in there, because you can't really top it off all the way to the very, very top, but we're talking at least 50 gallons, you know, 40 maybe. We're still talking close to a quarter of a tank still left in there, which is a lot of miles. Why am I having to stop early? Because this thing says that I am running on fumes. Not good. The next thing on the pet peeve list is also fuel related. 9.6 miles per gallon over the last 5,000 miles. Wrong. This thing is off, and it is off consistently by 1 to 1.2 miles per gallon higher than what it actually is. I have tested it multiple times, repeatedly, and it is consistently off by that. My real fuel mileage for this run, 8.4 miles per gallon, okay, not 9.6. That has been tested over and over. It's wrong. I've taken it to Freightliner to look at it, and they're like, oh, we don't know, it should be accurate. Well, it's not. And they have no clue how to do it, how to fix it, and so therefore it's not going to get fixed. It's terrible. All right, moving on down the list. Speaking of the things up here, multiple wiring issues. I've had multiple wiring issues and repair issues. You guys probably know about the fuel pump breakdown that I had. This truck was only 8 months old when that happened. This truck is 1 year old right now, and it's been in that shop right there many times for wiring issues. Gauges will stop working. Various things will just stop working in here, and you got to take it in, and they got to get it fixed just over and over and over. So that's a pain in the butt. All right, moving on down the list here. These windshield wipers, absolutely terrible design on the windshield wipers. For one, this windshield wiper is way too big. Okay, I don't know if you can see. Yeah, there you go. Okay, it's making contact with the window there, and then no longer making contact with the window there, because the window curves, but the the wiper blade does not. And therefore, let me see if I'm trying to get it to get a better view of that, but it's not going to show you probably. I don't know if you can see that or not. But yeah, it just doesn't hit the window, so it warps the blade, which means when it's cleaning after a while, it doesn't clean the top of the window very well. Just a poor design on that. A lot of people have chosen to go with an inch or two smaller, and it does seem to work. I've heard of that. The other issue with the wiper blades, you've got you've got your intermittent speeds. Obviously, you've got two of those. Other than that, you've got low and high. Well, if you use low, okay, what happens is all the moisture, especially if you're just cleaning bugs off. We're not talking about rain. We're talking about cleaning bugs off the windshield. First of all, the washers themselves don't squirt water all over the window. Squirt water over a small portion of it. And then all that water goes right there, goes down the window here, goes along the A-pillar, and then accumulates right in this area along the glass. Roll that window back up here. Okay, it all accumulates right in this area and starts dancing around, from the wind. The wind has just pushed it on here, and it's dancing around here, and that's where it dries, right here, right in front of your mirror, which you kind of need. Pain in the butt. So it discourages you from washing the windows. Now, if you do it on high speed, you're still going to get part of that problem, but not as much. But now what the wipers are doing is it's flinging the water straight onto the mirror itself. Absolutely terrible. Now, I had heard that they had designed these mirrors and positioned them so that the mirrors would be cleaned by doing that, but it doesn't clean them. It splashes the water all over it where it sits because there's no wind or anything pushing it off. It sits, it dries, all the spray and everything, making it really, really dirty, and you can't see anything out of it. Absolutely terrible design. Now, you do have these wind deflectors that can go on the outside of the A-pillar. I think they look absolutely terrible. I don't like the looks of them. And it deflects air from coming into the cab when you roll your window down. Which, you know what, if I'm rolling my window down while I'm moving, it's because I want some air in here. That's my personal opinion. But that's supposed to fix at least the mirror issue. I'm not sure if it fixes the issue of everything going on the side. So, I don't know. All right, we've got two more here. All right, issue number 12. Riding in this freight shaker, it earns its name. This thing should be called a driver shaker. It feels like I'm at the rodeo. I just want to take my hand, put it right there, tie it all up right here, hold it down, and then just ride this thing out. Every time it hits a bump, and we're talking little bumps, boom, big bumps, boom. Issues with the concrete where there's some Walmart distribution centers and even some on-ramps in Nebraska where the concrete goes. It's a plate of concrete. You can see like those plates of concrete right there. Okay. But after each plate of concrete where there's a gap, it drops about maybe a half an inch. I mean, I've actually gotten out and looked, and it's not a big drop. It's a half an inch. But then there's another plate of concrete about the same size, and another half-inch drop, and it continues on and on and on. Well, this thing just gets into a rhythm where, first of all, just that little half-inch drop, the boom, okay? Then you get the next half-inch drop, the boom, the boom, the boom, the boom. And this thing just bounces and bounces and just really bounces. I mean, you are just, if you weren't seat belted in, you'd be flying out of your seat, literally. And all the stuff that's up here, anything you might have put in here, it's all flying out. Forget it. Okay, bumps in the road, potholes. I mean, these roads out here in America are not great to begin with. But man, those being in this truck, just going down the road, I mean, it's just constant movement and bumping and shaking and just, oh my goodness, it is not a smooth ride. I end my shift feeling terrible and tired because I've been holding on. I've just been holding on all shift long and moving, and it's not good. All right, let's talk about number 13. This one's gonna shock you. This one shocked me. Hey, let me adjust the steering wheel here to really show you what I am talking about. So, you know, I've got those strong driver, bungees. They're bungees that attach to the seat, okay? And you grab them and you pull them down, okay? You pull them down and they exercise your arm. And as you can see, as I'm pulling down, I'm centered right here in the seat, okay? I'm sitting right flat in the middle of the seat, okay? And as I pull down, you can see my arm is missing the steering wheel, mostly, okay? It's missing the steering wheel. And that was great for getting that arm, no problem. I go to do the same thing on this side, and I'm hitting the steering wheel. I'm like, what is going on? Am I sitting crooked? You know, what is happening here? So I finally looked at it, okay, and let's check this out. So I'm centered in the seat, sitting perfectly centered, but check out where the steering wheel is. Center, right here. We're not centered with the steering wheel. Check that out. It is offset by about a good, let's see here, about a good 2 inches, inch and a half, 2 inches. The steering wheel is offset from the seat, which I just can't believe that. Talk about a major design flaw. So when I first started driving, my back was hurting because I was twisted a little bit. My back had to, you know, one side was reaching further than the other to reach the steering wheel. Turns out I still didn't really notice it, but I felt more comfortable when I had this hand right here and then this hand right here. Driving with this hand up here was not comfortable. Driving with this hand down here, not comfortable. It would only be comfortable when my hands were right there and there, or sometimes up there and then resting right here. You know, that was it. And yeah, once I finally realized that this thing is off center, I just could not believe that. That just blows me away that something like that exists. I mean, come on, especially for us drivers that are sitting in this seat for 11 hours a day or more. Okay, that's just absolutely terrible design. So there you have it, everybody. My 13 pet peeves for the Freightliner. That is it. I'm going to wrap this video up, everybody. Hope you guys enjoyed it. You all know what to do. Like, subscribe, click on my face. Click on my face. You know you want to click on my face. Click on it and see what happens. Click on it. Click on it. Later.